going on, my friend? What you up to?
Not much.
Huh? Don't touch my face with your camera.
Houston family lawyer Robert Hoffman up close and personal. In Wayne's World, they call this an extreme close-up. It looks like it's been a rough year for Mr. Hoffman. Malpractice lawsuits from 3 different women, all claiming he did bad legal work.
I'm staggered by the amount of fees and expenses that were incurred on those cases or charged to those clients compared to the little amount of work that was actually performed.
And this day for Mr. Hoffman is about to get a little more complicated. His lawyer girlfriend Jenny Smith tries to block the way as Mr. Hoffman tries to sneak down the back stairs of the courthouse. Mr. Hoffman is about to get served in yet another lawsuit. But this time, it's not a former client who's suing. You think this has become a racket?
I don't think. I know it's a racket. 100%.
It's this guy, Avi Ron, who hired Dolcefino Consulting to investigate and expose family injustice. Ron lost millions in his own divorce, just in legal fees.
Most of the money went to the lawyers, didn't go to either one of us.
Divorce lawyers Robert Hoffman and Bobby Newman both worked for Avi Ron's wife, so maybe we shouldn't be surprised they all haven't kissed and made up since.
He's the creepiest, dirty, low-life person who's ever walked on this earth.
Okay, full disclosure, Mr. Ron doesn't like these guys one bit. The Ron divorce trial was in the 245th District Court, not here in the 247th District Court, but it's what happened here that leads us to the new legal battle unfolding at the courthouse, when Ron went into that court to see the lawyers now playing opposite sides of the case.
And because I knew that Robert Hoffman and, of all people, Bobby Newman are arguing against each other in a custody case, which was very important to me.
So let me get this straight. The 2 lawyers who had worked together as buddies to go after Avi Ron just down the hall were pretending to be enemies in another case, right?
Mr. Newman saw me and he called Robert and he said, "Hey, Robert, look, Avi's here." So all of a sudden, these 2 opposing counsels, the lawyers, become now friends. They're both against me. And Robert literally says, "What the F or what the F is he doing here?"
So why did the judge get involved? Ron claims Judge John Schmuty met with Hoffman and Newman behind closed doors in his chambers. And when he came back out into open court, he said this, quoting, "Information has been brought to the court's attention that the gentleman in the back of the room has been interfering with these proceedings."
He said, "You have to leave right now." I said, "Judge, I didn't do anything wrong and I have a right." He said, "You need to leave right now. If not, I'll make you leave."
Getting thrown out of a public courtroom is a big deal, especially if you claim you didn't do anything wrong.
Do you think Judge Schmuty is guilty of an abuse of power?
For sure, he's taking sides of our lawyers who are friends of his, are probably supporting him.
Ron was so mad, he asked the Harris County Constable's Office to investigate what had happened in Schmuti's court. We've got the constable's report. It says Robert Hoffman and the court bailiff both said the same thing, that Avi Ron's wife was on the jury. We looked at court records. That wasn't true at all. But Mr. Hoffman would have known that, for gosh sakes, because he was her lawyer. He probably knows what she looks like.
Don't you have enough to film already?
Here's the other lawyer Avi Ron really wants to get under oath, Bobby Newman. In court documents, Newman says that Ron was stalking him by showing up to watch him in the case in Schmuti's court, quoting, staring menacingly, making faces at Newman and the jury. Funny, Newman doesn't mention the whole wife thing, but he does mention me. And you know me, I like that. Quoting, Ron has retained Wayne Dolcefino to run various hit pieces against Newman on Dolcefino Facebook pages and website. That's Dolcefino Consulting, Mr. Newman. Ron got Dolcefino to send threatening letters to the judge in Ron's divorce action. Mr. Newman sounds a bit whiny and thin-skinned to me, but that menacing letter I sent the judge, it's on my website at dolcefino.com, and you can see how scary it is. And funny, the only thing I asked the judge about was potential conflicts of interest, not a single question about a single ruling in the Ron case. Judge Moore had never disclosed his relationship with the high-dollar receiver he appointed to go after Avi Ron's money. We knew Mark Murray had represented the judge's family in a traffic accident case, and so we simply dared to ask to see the legal bills, the proof the judge's family ever had to pay a penny for their lawyers like the rest of us do. We sent the letter in January. Did I mention we're still waiting for the bills?
Why did you hire us?
Because I want the public to know what's going on so it doesn't happen to the person behind me.
One of the viewers who's been watching our family justice investigative reports called the Harris County Courthouse a perjury palace. The conflicts of interest, the campaign cash, the human cost of all these dragged out divorce and custody cases.
Irreparable. I cannot begin to describe the financial damage it caused me, and my whole family's got broken and damaged too.
Maybe it's time for the good judges of the courthouse to say enough is enough. We tried to get video of Judge Schmoody in his courtroom for this story, but when my cameraman went there, he was escorted into the courtroom by an armed deputy, and Judge Schmoody didn't let him leave the courtroom till the video he had shot was deleted. Maybe Judge Schmoody missed that whole public servant part. He's a public official. It's a public courtroom. What's the big deal? Maybe he's forgotten, but voters should take note.